All right, hey everybody, and welcome to our Climbing the Ladder group. We are starting off this week with talking about being an organizational leader. And I realized that their organizational leader might feel like, for new coaches especially, like it's something that is really far off. And I want you to kind of get that idea out of your mind and really just focus on the content that is going to be talked about tonight. Because really everything that we're going to talk about from here on out is going to be just as relevant as it was when we were talking about becoming a business starter. So it starts from day one about being a leader and even just being a leader for yourself. And that's like the number one priority, is leading yourself to press play and drink your shakes and do your daily activities. But today we're going to talk about how to lead a team. And we have the amazing Brooke King with us. Brooke is one of my coaches, and she last year, you guys, started off the year as an Emerald coach. And Brooke, I hope you don't mind I'm telling this story, but so in February of last year, we decided to do a push group kind of like this. And Brooke was an Emerald, but she had some really great strengths. And I asked her to speak on one of our calls for that, and she about flipped her stuff. She had never spoken before. She was just completely out of her comfort zone, but she did an amazing job. And I kid you not, from that day forward, she just hit the ground running and sprinted to the finish. And she finished the year as a 6-star Diamond Elite coach. And she's currently an organizational leader in our downline. And she just runs an amazing team. And I have actually learned so much from Brooke about being a leader. And I think she just does an incredible job of creating a team culture and really getting her team to work together as a team. And I wanted her to come today and talk to you guys about exactly how she does that and how she kind of works with her coaches, not one-on-one, as well as on her team page, and just really share with you the amazing culture that she has created for her team, which is Gold Diggers. So, Brooke, I'm just going to go right ahead and turn it on over to you and let you go, sister.
Thank you. Hi, guys. This is really exciting. Now I love talking on team calls. It's so much fun. But it's amazing what can happen in a year. So I definitely encourage all of you guys to run full speed and take advantage of this opportunity. But I'm so excited to be here. So thank you so much, Lauren and Tanya, for having me speak tonight. And I absolutely love this topic. When Lauren reached out to me about speaking, I was like, oh, God. And then she said, talk about team culture and how you work with your team. And that makes me really excited. So I hope you guys can take away some nuggets. I'm just going to spill it all out there and tell you exactly what we do on Gold Diggers, and I see a bunch of them in here, so they can vouch for me, and they can add comments, and they can, let you know if there's anything I'm missing. So, a little about me. I'm a mom, a wife, director for HR for a government contractor here in Northern Virginia, and a coach, obviously, and I'm a sports lover. I love soccer, basketball. I grew up playing those. I play tennis now. I love fantasy football. I love it all. But I grew up playing very competitive soccer and basketball. I actually went to college to Seton Hall on a full ride for basketball. And it wasn't until today, when I was thinking about teams and teams that I've been on, that I really realized why I quit there my freshman year. And it wasn't because I didn't want to work hard or get up early for the workouts or do pickup and to bond with the team until it was time to go to bed. It was because the team there wasn't what the team was that I was used to. Because I just love teams. It's really kind of crazy. So I didn't fit in. I just wanted to run away, and I ended up transferring to Virginia Tech, which I could have actually played there. I was really heavily recruited by them, but I wouldn't even go visit because my parents both went there, and I'm a very stubborn child and like to do everything on my own. So I was going to prove them wrong and show them that I had a new path and going to do my own thing. So when I showed up on the Tech campus, the first thing I did was went and joined the club soccer and basketball team. And the coach for the varsity team came by and asked me if I wanted to play on the team, but by then I'd already found my partying lifestyle for college and wasn't really interested in that. But I did stick out with club soccer and basketball for my whole college career because I really liked being a part of the teams. And today I was going through all the teams that I've ever been on, and it was so much fun to like look at pictures and think about all the memories. And I can tell you that I've won national championships, I've won regional championships for soccer, that we won districts all 4 years in high school, and the list goes on and on and on. But the things that I remember most, and I'm not even kidding when I tell you these, are like decorating our team band with shoe polish. and driving to our games and listening to Vogue by Madonna, because we were the Vogues and we were all, perfected the striking a pose moves. And it was the team sleepovers and the lock-ins and the matching scrunchies, which I'm so glad are making a comeback, and painting our hair and having matching nails and holding each other accountable to no McDonald's for 3 months before the national championships, which I know is totally disgusting, but sometimes a girl just loves the Big Mac. But what I'm saying is teams and the team culture are what breeds success. And I'm a huge, huge believer, and I'll tell this to my team all the time. I'm always saying teamwork makes the dream work. I'm always saying, jump in, take advantage of this momentum, because I really believe that, momentum can be caught. And if you let yourself be a part of it and you get in on the enthusiasm and the excitement, it can come your way. So today I still play sports. I would definitely rather play in a tennis match than run on a treadmill any day. But what adult sports was missing is that commitment. People have life happen, and that passion that you have when you're young. But 2.5 years ago, I found that commitment and that passion that I was really, really missing in my life through Beachbody. So no, you don't have to love sports or to be a great coach or lead an awesome team. But what you really do have to do is have a passion for what you're doing and realize what's possible with this business, and feel blessed that we have the opportunity like this, like no others, to win this big game, right? And for me, the big game is life. And to win this big game is to have freedom to live this one chance we get the way that we want to. And it wasn't always like that for me. When I first started, I was just here to work out and get in shape. But it's kind of, once you start seeing results, your vision starts changing. And so it's important to get the whole team on that vision with you. So I'm a list girl, so I'm just going to kind of break it down into some tips and tell you how we do things, and how on our team we make these things happen. So we'll get started. So number one is get your team together and online. So whether that's on a team page or if you aren't there quite yet, in a team chat, and post every single day. This is so important, you guys. And in the beginning, you may not get a lot of engagement, and that may be for weeks or months or even a year that you're not getting a lot of engagement. But it's so important for you to keep posting and keep showing up every single day, because when the timing's right for all those people watching you, they're going to need you there, and they're going to expect that you're still there. So keep posting through all of the crickets and the silence and whatever else. But I 110% believe that momentum and enthusiasm is contagious. And if you let it, and if you tie into the team, you're going to catch it. So being tied into the team is a vital, vital part of, grooming yourself as a leader and setting the example and developing rising leaders as well within your team. So you want to set the bar like as high as you can get it, because, people are going to you want to set it really, really high and hope that they'll meet you halfway, because people will do like 75% of what you're going to put into it. So make sure you're 75% above where you want them to be. Encourage friendships and teamwork within the team. One thing I've had a lot of success with is developing like what I call pods. So pods are just kind of chats that I create on Facebook within my team. So for instance, like the last week of the month, I'll have like a Success Club pod. So everybody that has Success Club points on the board, but not 5 yet, will be in a pod, and we'll all push each other and talk to each other and see how we can motivate and help each other to hit Success Club by the end of the month. People pushing for Diamond are in a pod. I have a Gold Diggers Diamond pod, which is all my leaders, and we talk every single day. And just different people working together and brainstorming together. And each month people are in different groups with different people. They find other people they can relate to. They find other people they have in common with. It is so important to post in your team page every single day. And some ideas for you guys are always have your team calendar available. I put it as my cover picture, so that, and I think I learned that from Lauren, but so that you can have, so that people on your team know what's coming up. They know where they need to be, what days those team calls are, and what's coming up, so that they can post the week before according to that. Go live in your team page. I know some of us aren't comfortable. I've never done it on my timeline, which is crazy, but I feel comfortable doing it in my team because I honestly feel like they're family. Go live in there, be real, share the struggles that you're having and how you're conquering them, and then share the successes as well. Go live, paint pictures of what's possible, do the income posts. I know they're awkward and they're weird, but for all of the people on your team that are motivated by money, they need to see that. And we owe it to them to show what's possible. So ask other coaches, if you've done it a couple times, ask some of your other leaders or ask other coaches to do it as well, because they may be more relatable to people that are watching. Get everybody involved, and you can ask people to do stuff. My team will tell you if there's not much activity on my team page, I'll reach out to people and be like, hey, can you go recognize someone on your team that's doing great? Or can you go post something that's, whatever. Every day I post something that my team can learn from, whether it's a YouTube video or a topic that I see coaches struggling with. Maybe it's a reminder for the National Wake Up Call, a quote, and then I write something about how that pertains to coaching or the opportunity we have in front of us. Maybe it's like a simple repost of the business activity tracker or why they want to go Emerald. With new coaches, it's important sometimes to keep doing the same topics. But even the compensation structure, I'll throw that in there sometimes so that people realize, how we're paid. But a little graphic about the savings for Shakeology. That's something that I like to throw up there every month so that people know, how to convert their customers to coaches and why and what the benefit is there. I try to post that, like I said, at least once a month. And then the other post every single day is some sort of shout out or recognition. And that's a vital behavior too, so we should all be doing that anyways. But, and I heard this, Steph Cram talked on our call one time, or maybe it was Megan, I don't remember. But one of them told me that in their team call, because this was when I first started my own team page and it was kind of dead. And I was like, so what are you doing there? How do you do it? And they go, make it like a pep rally, make it fun, make it seem, make it a team that people want to be a part of. So high energy and fun. And, I've actually had a couple discount coaches that have converted to working coaches because they've seen the excitement and the fun in the team page. So another thing I do a lot of is if I see a great post from somebody in my downline, not always just my personally sponsored, but anybody, I'll share it into my team page and just put a little note on there of why this was such a great post. And that gives those people recognition, and it also shows other people that are watching what it takes to make a great post. Like I'll point out the different parts of her post. But we recognize everything in our team. We do results, we do the first sale, we do Emerald Success Club. I have a weekly volume winners that I do the top 3, and that is a really big hit. We do a coach of the week, which we started about 3 months ago, and this is pretty cool. Every day that coach of the week goes in the team page and goes live and talks about whatever that topic is for the day, and it's the same thing every week. But it's awesome to hear from different people and to let other people hear from everybody else, because not everybody in the team is going to relate to me, and so it's good to hear from different people. And then know your coaches, you guys. If they're driven by recognition, I have a couple coaches, man, they can be having the worst day ever, and I go in there and recognize them, and all of a sudden they are, light bulbs go off, they are happy, everything is great. So if they're driven by recognition, give it to them, seriously. Which brings me to number 2, right? Make sure you get to know your team. And that doesn't just mean your PS coaches that you brought into the business. It means your entire downline. So I know that might seem crazy as you grow and grow and grow and grow to think that you would know everyone in your downline, but it's so important as your team grows, and it means more and more to the people that you didn't personally sponsor, the people that are further down. When you reach out to them, it means so much to them because they're like, oh my God, So some ideas are sending Facebook messages, the voice messages. It takes 2 seconds. And I try once a month to literally go through my entire downline and send some voice message. Just saying, hey, I'm thinking about you, or if I saw a great post, or if I saw them hit Success Club for the first time, or welcome to the team, whatever it is, I try to go through there and make contact with every single person in my downline at least once a month. We have the luxury of having a lot of our team. One of my diamonds, Kristen, a lot of her team is very local. So we've had the benefit of getting together in person a lot. And it's been awesome. We've gotten together in Northern Virginia and Richmond. But, and I know it's hard, but do what you can. We also have done things where we get online Friday night and we just drink wine and we talk. And if you want to talk business, that's cool. But we're here to just talk and get to know each other as well. We did a Christmas party, Super Saturdays, we carpool, we go to lunch afterwards. Summit, we all stayed in the same hotel, and we were literally in the same end of the hallway, and it was so cool getting ready. It was kind of like being in college. We were all sharing makeup and outfits and whatever. But it's just fun, and it's like a girls' weekend away. So the Zoom happy hour I mentioned. Let's see what else I had. So it's so funny though, because when I send my coaches like a hey girl, how are you? I always get back, oh my God, this week has been so busy, but I promise next week I'm going to do blah, 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 blah. And so my goal this year was honestly to make it so that didn't happen. And so when I said, hey girl, how are you? They actually just told me how they were doing. Because it's important to me that I know what's going on in your life, and because I want you're a huge part of my life. And so, I like to make sure that everybody is friends and, that it's not all just business, that we know what's going on. And then just like I said above, if people like recognition, give them that. But if people like stuff, I offered so much stuff last year. I'm not even kidding. Every single month I had something for Hitting Success Club. And sometimes it was Success Club 5 and it would be something little. Sometimes it was Success Club 10. Sometimes I did Success Club 5 and add 2 coaches. Because you know what? Like when you build a business, not just here, but anywhere, if people are doing a really great job, they're going to get a bonus. They're going to get recognized. They're going to get an Amazon gift card, whatever it is. Recognize those people. Put money back into your business. It's going to grow much bigger in the long run. Number 3, let yourself be connected to the team. And I say that like that because if you don't feel connected, it's only because you're not letting yourself do that. Anybody has the opportunity to be connected here. And that's what's so awesome about this team, this opportunity, is because everybody wants you to succeed. Every single person above you, every single person below you, all around you, everybody wants you to succeed. So you can jump in and be all in at any time. It doesn't have to be, you were all in and then whatever. So real quick, I'm just going to be honest. Team calls, you guys, you got to be on them. And as a leader, you've got to make it worth their while to be on them. You don't want to have a team call where you just get on and there's no plan. Well, on my calls, anyways, there's always a plan because I'm a planner and that's just the way it goes. So we get on and most of the time I have like a guest speaker, or I have, every month maybe I'll do one of the calls or another leader on my team will do a call. But you've got to get on these calls, and even if it's the same subject that you've heard all the time, it creates a bonding, right? So we'll get on, and in the beginning we'll just talk and we'll say, how are you? And people will just kind of talk about how they're doing. But they're twice a month, so it's 2 hours a month. And if you cannot make time for 2 hours a month, you're going to have a really hard time building a big business because, that's just kind of like minimum requirement. And it also shows respect to your coaches or your teammates because putting calls together, it takes work, right? So get on there because when you're up to talk, you're going to want everybody on there as well. So prioritize your team calls, show respect to the person putting them on, and then get yourself to Super Saturday. These events that people are, that Beachbody puts together for us, they change everybody's business when you go to them. So go to them. It's 4 times a year. In our real jobs, I have conferences, I have meetings, I have nights where I have to work late, I have weekends where I have to do something. So owe it to yourself to do that for your own business. Team Cup, another amazing thing that Beachbody puts on for us. Mix your team together, get them to know other people, get them to work together. But these are like free opportunities that are already planned for us. I actually hosted a Team Cup in my team in August, and that was really fun. It was actually all the diamonds had kind of their own teams, and that was cool because it was kind of they got to bond within their own teams as well, which I think is really good. Number 4 is getting your coaches started right, and I think that this is one of the most important things that you can do to breed a great team culture. And the reason that is because you need to set the expectation and tell people up front how it is and what is expected of them. So I always say find a system that works for you and implement that throughout your entire team. So on my team, we do a monthly Coach Basics group where, the information in the group isn't anything earth-shattering, but I think it's a great way to get the new coaches all in one group together so that they can talk and they can brainstorm and they can get to know each other. So then they know somebody starting the business at the same time as them. Then we also have what I call the playbook, which is our team training page, back to the whole sports thing. And these are great resources, but I think really the top 2 are the Getting Started Right call, which is totally necessary, like right away, because everyone feels overwhelmed, right? You send them the email and they're so overwhelmed. So you need to get on the phone with them, let them know that that's okay. And then number 2 is getting them a taste of success in 30 days. I have a 30-day rule. It's maybe because I used to recruit, and we had a 30-day time to fill the position kind of thing. So I really think that, things need to happen in 30 days. So on that GSR call, you listen to what listen to them, learn about them, learn why they're here, and set the expectation with them. I ask every single new coach of mine to give me 365 days before you even think about giving up. And I tell them, I'm like, this is going to be hard. There's days where you're just going to want to jump off a cliff. There's days where you're going to feel higher than you've ever felt. So I'm going to tell you right off the bat, here's what to expect, because I think then on those days when they have, down in the dumps days, they kind of know that that's normal. And I talk to them about the team culture, and I tell them what's expected in the team page, like commenting on shout outs and new coach announcements. I think that that's huge. Everybody wants to feel welcomed when they're a brand new coach. So I set a very real and honest expectation with every single person that I bring onto the team, and I hopefully teach that to my coaches so that they can do the same. But if someone's telling me that they want to be the next Star Diamond coach on the form, and they say they want to work 1 hour a week, then we have a conversation about that, obviously. But then helping them find success in 30 days, and I learned this from one of my network marketing girls that isn't in Beachbody at all. She was telling me how important this is for her, and I was like, yeah, it really is. So in 30 days, I make it my mission, if I have a coach that is wanting to work it and they're willing to put in the time, to help them find a way to hit Success Club or go Emerald or get a first paycheck or whatever it is, because I think, like, we all know, once you do that, you get that like taste of like winning, and you just can't get enough, So I think whatever it is, just push them just enough. I always, if people are going to tell me here's their why and here's where they want to be, I meet with my coaches at the beginning of every month. I'll put up times for one-on-one calls if people want to. And if they're going to tell me what their goals are and what they want to accomplish, then you're right, I'm going to be there to push you along the way. So you want to definitely get your new coaches started right, because that's where it all begins, right, and setting the expectation. And then once they join your team and they get going, number 5 is you want to empower leadership. And the way to do this, it's hard. Leadership is hard, I'm not going to lie. But you want to guide your coaches to being leaders themselves. So once a coach on my team goes Emerald, they're a leader. And they start doing stuff within the team, whether it's running push groups for the team, or maybe they're speaking on the team calls. A lot of times I have an Emerald kind of open up the team call and tell kind of what they've been up to, what they've been doing, how they've been finding success in their first couple of months. Or maybe they're running what is coaching groups, whatever it is, but let them be leaders. Now, this was really hard for me because I'm like extremely type A, must have control of everything. But I have learned that it is my job as a coach to give them the tools they need and to let them fly away from the nest as soon as they're ready, because they're not going to be able to lead their own team until they do. And I've always had a hard time with that, but I've gotten a lot better recently. But I never leave them fully alone. I am always there. They always know that I'm there. But I do know that if I coddle them too much, then they're never going to be able to lead their own team. So that was a rude awakening and a tough pill to swallow for me, but I think I'm getting there. And then a huge component here that I do with training in my HR job is the difference between leadership and management. And this is huge, and it's really important to understand the difference and to make sure that you're always being a leader, not a manager. Corporate America is for the management. We don't want to do that here, because that's why people are here, is to get away from that and to run their business their way. So, and to lead people, though, we can't expect people to do things that we aren't doing. So like Lauren was saying, you have to be doing the workouts. You have to be drinking the Shakeology. You have to be hosting your own calls. You have to be doing all these things that you want your coaches to do. You have to get on team calls, or they're not going to get on team calls because they're not going to think it's serious. We as leaders have to know what drives our rising leaders, because it's different for every single one of them. And it's hard. It's really hard to lead all different types of people that are motivated by different things. But it takes practice, so start early. If you're an Emerald coach, that's a perfect time to do it. You got 2 people, lead them. And the biggest pill that I've really had to swallow is that me, you, all of us, we're responsible for our own results. It's no one else's responsibility to help us be successful, which is great, because we can be whatever we want to be, which is, pretty freaking cool. So my advice is just to get out there and own it. And number 6 is attract new coaches based on your team culture. Like for me, I love teams. I've played sports and been on teams my whole life. So advertise your team culture. Make it known that it's a friendship and a family, not just a business, and that you'll attract people just based on that alone. Post the pictures of you guys having fun and doing things that aren't always about health and fitness, but that you are there for each other and you're actually friends and you like each other outside of the business aspect. And you can do these things in a subtle way, or you can just, like a Woman Crush Wednesday and talk about people on your team or whatever, or you can just get on there and blast it and shout it out from the rooftops how awesome your team is and how much you love it. and do a call to action for coaching that way sometimes maybe. But recognize the success of the people in your team on your timeline as well, and tag them so that their followers are seeing their success. You know, every rank advancement, every whatever, make sure that that's on their timeline and you're having your team blow it up so that everybody that's following them knows they're doing something awesome. So those are kind of like the 6 ways, I guess, that I've used to kind of try and build and promote an amazing team culture. And I'll leave you with just be excited and enthusiastic and positive always to everyone in your downline. Let them vent to you, but don't ever, ever, ever vent like to them. When they vent to you, teach them how to find the positive, the positive in it all, right? There's always a silver lining. And last but not least, I will just tell you, when I saw the ginormous picture, the elite thing in the little hallway, my favorite part of the whole entire thing was that it said Gold Diggers on it. That to me just was so exciting because I know that our team would never be where we are without every single person doing their part, and every single person needs to feel loved and appreciated. And we set team goals and we crush them together. So I always try to relay that message of appreciation and support to my team, and I would encourage you to do the same and hope that they know I'm always a team first person. So I truly love my team, and I'm focused on helping them hit their goals and know that my success is going to fall into place in the meantime. But, I focus on them, and I think that they really appreciate that. And, the last thing I want to say is just lead with your heart, and you're always going to end up on top. So that's all I have, and I'm happy to stick around if anybody has questions, but those are my top 6, and I'm sorry I talked so fast.
That's awesome. Thanks, girl.
You're welcome.
Guys, loved that, and got a lot out of it. I think she gave you guys a ton of great information. If you were ever curious or wondering, like, how the heck do I lead? Or maybe you were thinking that, you have a team page, like Brooke said, where it's just really quiet. Well, now you have a ton of ideas. She just armed you with a ton of ideas of things that you can post in there, things you can do to get people moving and excited and just enjoying being part of the team. And, that's the whole fun of this, is to really feel like you're part of a community and part of something that's fun. I know that's what I love so much about it, is knowing that when I'm having a bad day or I'm having those times where I just need a pick-me-up, I know that this is where I turn to now, because myself, just like Brooke, was always on sports teams, and I always had that like camaraderie, and that was something that I was missing, which Beachbody coaching brought back for me. So same as Brooke. So we are a little bit past time, but I wanted to thank everybody for hopping on. I'm going to end our recording, but if you do have some questions for Brooke, she did say she would stick around and answer some questions. But thanks for everybody who hopped on tonight, and have a good night.